Hey everybody, Alaskan Beard here again, and I have another unboxing, go figure. I just filmed another one, but I have a little bit of a new filming setup, so I kind of wanted to work through a little bit of my backlog, and I actually got this one today, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours ago, and I'm really excited for it. It is from Limited Run Games, but it is not a normal release, and I think it's gonna be really cool, and I'm not gonna stall anymore, so let's go ahead and jump in. So this is a black label, not black box release from Limited Run Games. I believe it's in conjunction with the original publisher, but I could be wrong. I don't know that I have any more information on it, but I think they look really, really cool. Now, my only complaint here looking at the packaging is that there is no 01 on the side where I would like to stand it up at. This is, I could put this on my shelf, but this is how I want to put it on my shelf, is like this. I think they expect you to put it like this or like this. Not a huge deal, and it actually probably fits better with your games. Actually, no, you know what? On a shelf like mine, having a box stick out that far, not the greatest thing. Having it stick up but not be as deep is probably the better play. I'm nitpicking, but I mean, if you're spending extra money on a special edition game, I feel like you have that right. So we've got a black embossed slipcover here, which we will go ahead and slide off. It does say driven by passion. Other than that, it's black label. And this is Victor Vran. So for anybody that doesn't know, Victor Vran is an ARPG, kind of like Diablo, minus multiplayer. Actually, it probably does have multiplayer, but it doesn't have the same multiplayer that I know of. And it came out in 2015. I believe it was on PC, maybe Xbox and PlayStation. I think, I'm not positive, but it's a pretty good game. I've actually played it myself before I purchased this. Actually, why I purchased this to begin with. So yeah, I figured that it'd be really cool to see what they do with kind of a new release, and I picked it up because it's a good game. Despite already owning it on PC. So now that we've opened it up, we have a gray case, Victor Vran Overkill Edition. This is the first Black Label production. I believe they just launched the second one. I could be mistaken. I do not believe I purchased it because it was not a game that I was super stoked for. It looks like this slides out either side, or maybe, how does this open? Oh, actually, this might be like a clamshell. I do not want to break anything. Ah, it is magnetic and opens. It's got a little flappy flap. Okay. Let us go ahead and see what is inside. This is much less premium than the slipcover feels. Like, obviously, it's just slipcover. How premium can it be? But as far as slipcovers go, it feels very premium. This, I like the box design, but the, like, shiny, just printing on a box, I don't know. I feel like they could have carried the embossing through, or maybe done something a little more stylized. I don't know. It also doesn't have any Limited Run Games branding, which I guess makes sense because this is a Wired Productions thing, but I don't... Maybe Limited Run Games is just a distributor. I do not know off the top of my head, but yeah. Let's go ahead and crack this open. I was gonna read this out loud and my brain was just broken trying to read the very beginning. Deals in the games industry are often established through pitches, word of mouth, or aggressive negotiations. For Wired and developer... Oh god. Hammermont Games, it all started over a case of beer, Motorhead beer to be specific, in an ancient London crypt with Lloyd Kaufman and Phil Lord Axsmith Campbell, true story, hanging out on the couch. So they have a couch in a crypt, and they're like, hey, let's get together and drink some beer. All right. From the get-go, there was a mutual understanding with Hammermont, a connection based on similar principles, ways of working, taste in music, and a like for specific whiskey that Lemmy himself would approve of. Wired became involved with Victor Vran at a stage where the game was finished and out on PC, but Gabriel Dobrev, founder, leader, and true gentleman, producer Bisser Diankov, and their team had more ideas, alongside a wish to release more content to a wider audience, with help from Motorhead banger and creative producer/designer Akim Haidalov. I'm probably butchering all of these names, but that's okay. Who had a 25-year going close connection with Lemmy and the band. The Motorhead game story was written with the utmost support of the band members themselves. Roll forward a couple years and Victor Vran Overkill Edition launched on consoles, won a bunch of awards, helped crack open a few more bottles of beer, and brought Troma legend Lloyd Kaufman out of Tromaville and into the gaming world. It also opened the door to the legendary Doug Cockle to join the family with his legendary voice and effervescent personality. It is often said that you should not work with friends or family. That might be the case for some, but not for Wired. Friends are the family, and Gaby Bisser and wonderful team at Hammermont Games are just that, family. Late night game discussions at the penthouse and roaming the streets of Sofia after a hard night partying go above and beyond the realms of business. When Wired thought about which game to kick off the Black Label series, really, there was no choice other than Victor Vran, a game that kickstarted so many things, including friendships and a hangover. Hammermont Games. So I wonder if these are only going to be Wired production produced games, or if they're going to seek out games from other publishers, producers, game companies, whatever, and release black labels for them. I guess we'll see. We have a certificate of authenticity. This is certificate number 3028. Nothing spectacular there. We have a, what I presume is an art print. This is pretty cool. And I do listen to metal. I am not a huge Motorhead fan, but I am going to go out on a limb and guess that this is Motorhead. Just a hunch based on that introduction. Ooh, this is interesting. What is this? This is acrylic? It's a lithogram printed on acrylic. I don't know I've ever seen one like this. It is pretty cool. Oh man, all you're gonna be able to see is my monitor like this. All right, well, good luck seeing that. It looks cool in person. Ooh. I guess somebody just got themselves Victor Vran, or I hope they got Victor Vran. And a soundtrack. So we've got a black slipcover over the game. I'll be honest, I did not realize this was for Switch, but that makes sense. And then we have Victor Vran Overkill Edition. I'm not sure if this release is anything different than like a normal release. This specific like Switch case in plastic. If it's not, I really like the way that they're presenting this, because you can just put a normal Switch game on your shelf if you want to maintain that like red color, just like a sea of red for all of your Switch games. And then if you don't, they give you the slipcover to denote that it's black label and denote that it's special. And I think that's a really good way of doing that. All right. They did not do a good job of designing the packaging to make it easy to get things in and out. So the game being like this works really well, but then not having a little finger hole cut out here or here is kind of annoying, especially since this isn't like rigid. This is just, yeah. So we have a soundtrack for Victor Vran. And then they do have a cutout here. Oh no, that's where the coin is supposed to be, my bad. So they are also doing trading cards. So they're also doing trading cards, much like Limited Run Games does. And actually, is this a pack? Yeah, this is either a pack or this is like a fold out something. I guess we will open it up and find out. Okay, yeah, so this is just a handful of cards. These are kind of cheap compared to the Limited Run Games ones. These are like a thicker card stock, but they're not really polished. You can actually kind of, well, maybe you can't see. In person though, you can kind of see, I'll hold it up to this camera and see if it focuses. It's not going to though. You can kind of see how this corner is bent over just a little bit. That doesn't really happen as much with like the Limited Run Games style. They're almost like playing cards. So could have been a little better there, but still, I appreciate trading cards. It is interesting to give you 3 though. Like I wonder, I feel like having 3 cards for one release is only valid when you have multiple tiers, maybe? Like if you have the ability to purchase something that might only include 1, you might incentivize people hunting it down, and then if you spend the extra money, you get all 3. Just having 3 is kind of odd to me. We have a commemorative coin, which is Black Label number 1, Victor Vran. Oh, I do like that it has the character on the back. And presumably the... I'll try and hold this up to my main camera, but it's so shiny and small, it's not going to focus. Maybe. Oh, there we go. So yeah, you can see the detail around the back of the coin. I don't know if that has anything to do with the game, but I don't really care for commemorative coins. I have a handful of them and I put them in a box or leave them in the box that they came in, so yeah. And then over here, oh god, what is this? Oh, is this a stand for your coin maybe? Sure? I'm actually not sure what this is. This could be for the cards, because I believe they would fit also. Or this could be for the coin, although I suspect if it was for the coin, it would be kind of on like a lean type of thing like this. Yeah, weird. I don't know. Oh, I bet this is for the lithogram. Yeah, I bet that's what this is for. I will look in a second, but I bet this is for the lithogram. Go ahead and set this off to the side. That does fit the best out of everything. I'll show it to my camera, but I have no idea how it's gonna look. And is this already? Yeah, this is already dusty. It's been in my room for 5 minutes. It's already dusty. I'm assuming that that's what it's for. And actually, I don't know how well it'll show up on camera. This is already chipped because it's just like not unfinished, but it's just kind of cut on the sides. It's not, there's no polishing or like finishing that was done on the sides, and it's already chipped. So that's cool. That's 2 defects. Well, defects if you can call the card one in this release alone. But yeah, let me pull up the pricing really quick. And I say really quick, but I mean I have to get my keyboard and plug it in and everything. But yeah, let me pull up the pricing and then I will give some information on that and talk about how satisfied I am with the purchase. Okay, so I purchased this a while ago, and I want to say it was delayed in production. This was purchased June of 2021, and I probably deleted all of the like production update emails that I got, but I'm pretty sure that this was the piece that delayed my order. The way limited run games works, if anybody doesn't know, is they will only ship your order with whatever you purchased, and they do that to cut down on shipping costs, because if they didn't, they would have to figure out a way to charge you twice for shipping, or they would have to charge you for each instance of shipping and then refund you if they were able to bundle things. It'd be kind of a logistics nightmare. So they just choose to ship your things when all of your items are ready. So like I've purchased accessories or add-ons from them, like a sticker, and obviously they have stickers in stock, but that won't ship for 3 to 6 months because the game that I purchased at the same time wasn't available. So I believe that my order was held up because of Victor Vran. I did purchase Castlevania Castlevania Anniversary Collection, not Castlevania Collector's Edition. My bad. At the same time, but I believe that the production was held up by Victor Vran, if I am remembering the emails correctly. With that said, this took, 14 months to get here from time of order? Kind of a long lead time. I think that's a little excessive. I do not think that they should have offered it for purchase that far in advance. I'm fine if you need to purchase things before production, and then maybe if you run into production issues with one of the items, there's not a figurine in here. There's not anything that's meant to be durable. There's not anything new, right? I guess I've never seen a lithograph like this, but it's just on acrylic. It shouldn't be that difficult to manufacture, right? None of this should be. A CD they've been around for 30 years at least. A Switch game, not 30 years, but there's millions of copies of Switch games. Anyway, none of this should have been hard to produce. So I'm not sure if they just weren't far enough in the production process when these went up for pre-order, or if maybe they did run into issues, but it seems like they probably just listed it way earlier than they should have in the production process. Personally, I think 14 months is way too long of a lead time, unless you're a platform like Kickstarter, where you literally have to agree to something that says this isn't a storefront, things may not ship. With that said, it was $80. I don't know how much the Switch game is, just by itself. Let me see if I can find it. Looks like the Switch version is sold out, believe it or not. There's a copy available on Amazon for $70. That is just the game for Switch, not the collector's edition. So, I don't know what it was on release. Actually, I could probably find out. It looks like on release this was $40, and it actually dipped down as low as $20. It went on sale. So this is a really bad buy. You're basically paying for the collector's edition, not the game. They did give me a download code in addition to the game itself, and I actually don't know if this is the full game or if it requires online access to download something. It probably does, would be my guess, which is kind of unfortunate. But yeah, you're paying $60 for everything on top of the game, and the game itself digitally, not on sale like that $20 sale was, is only $40. So you're still paying $40 for everything else, and it's not worth it. Not even close. I already like the game, so it has that going for it. If I was just purchasing this as a collector's item, aside from the fact it's probably going to be kind of cool on my shelf, it's unique, obviously, because this is the first Black Label game they've done, but it's kind of crappy. I like the art prints, sure. Happy to have a soundtrack, but I would bet that I can just buy the soundtrack. Okay, I lied. You cannot just buy the soundtrack. It may have been released on Amazon, but it looks like it is specific to this Black Label, especially now that I'm looking at it and it says Black Label. Zach here, and I was opening up the soundtrack just to see if there was maybe any extra music that wasn't included with the Amazon or Spotify streams / downloads, and there is no extra music, but I did realize that there is a DVD. And I don't think this was explicitly mentioned in the promotion material, but you can see a second disc in the promo image that's on limited run games. So here's a track listing for it. And I would be willing to bet that a lot of this is available online, like YouTube or maybe even Wired production site. I'm not going to go look because that's like 15 things I would have to search for, and I'm just going to assume that I am correct. But it does not really change my opinion of the value of this CD now that I know it's a DVD, because most of it's probably available online. And a lot of it looks to be centered around Motorhead, which, again, cool if you're a Motorhead fan, but I bought this because Victor Vran is a good game, not because I'm super into Motorhead. It seems like this was very DLC centric, but I rant enough in the actual video, so I'll go ahead and stop myself. But yeah, I just wanted to pop in and say that there is additional content with this, but I don't think it changes my opinion on the release. So you're paying for soundtrack. I'm fine having soundtracks. You can buy and stream the OST if you have Amazon Music or Spotify. You're paying for the game itself and a slipcover. Again, game was this specific Switch game was $20 at one point. You're paying for a kind of kind of poorly manufactured lithograph. In my opinion, lithographs should be on metal, and they should also not have like flaking on the sides. You see that little plastic bit sticking up there? Like, why? Why would you not polish the sides of this? I don't know. It just seems poorly made. And there are chips in the lithograph, and at first I thought that was intentional, but now that I'm looking at it, I think they're just chips in the lithograph. So again, points deducted for quality. They do give you a download of the soundtrack on Bandcamp, which I have a CD. I can just rip it in probably the same, maybe higher quality. And then they do give you a PC copy of the game and its DLC, which is not worth that much. I'm not going to check Steam, but I think it's like $10. So yeah, it's something, but do I care? No. And then, yeah, you've got your 2 art prints, which are cool, but they're not a standard size, and they're not like a style that I would want in my house, I guess. I have a bunch of video game stuff, and it's pretty eclectic. I mean, you can see on my shelf above my head, I have bits and bobs from tons of different games, and they're different styles. But these like black and white art prints, yeah, obviously there are people out there that would be stoked to be like, oh, Motorhead, I got a Lemmy art print. Hell yeah. Not me, sorry. And then the other print here, while I do like it, again, just like black and white, and I don't even know what this like the rest of this art style is. Just that it doesn't fit in with my room, and I would bet that a lot of people are the same way that collect video games. Most people whose video game rooms I've seen, it looks pretty similar to mine. You've got your consoles, you've got your TV where you play your games, and you have a shitload of collectibles and figurines and stuff, and this stuff just doesn't fit in with that. So I'm not really sure who the target audience for this is. It's probably a Motorhead fan, honestly, and that's fine, but I did not get that impression from the sales page that I purchased it from. So for me, not worth $80. Not only is it not worth $80, but I don't think there's a price at which it would be worth it for me. I'm not gonna sell this because I typically don't sell games, but I don't really want it. I'm happy to have the Switch game. I'll probably play it. Like, it's a game that, as long as the controls are good, it will play well on Switch, I think. But I don't care about anything else. I'll put the soundtracks with my soundtracks, and like, I might listen to it. Sure, I enjoy metal, and yeah, it's probably a good soundtrack, but that's it. I have a CD and a game. I don't care, right? Like I said, the game was $20 at one point, so I just paid an extra $60 for a soundtrack and a box to put on my shelf. Dude, I can go find pounds of cardboard like anytime I want. So I'm not super happy with the purchase, beyond the fact that I get to make a YouTube video about it and rant about it. That's kind of fun always, but I will have to see. I'm actually going to look up their next Black Label release. This is even more baffling. I normally cut out when I'm looking something up because, like, why would I include that in a video? But the pictures on Limited Run Games' site are clearly a render. Sure, yeah, whatever. They are not anything like what I got. The design for the Switch case is different. I'm fine with it. Like I said, I do think it being all black is nice, but this actually had, and I'll throw up a screenshot too, but it had red accents and a red spine, which is another good way to do it in my opinion. I'm fine with how they did it because, like I said, you can just choose to have a normal looking Switch game if you want. You know, you can get your red spine here, but yeah, not what I purchased, clearly. And then the trading cards are on here. The slipcover and the box look pretty similar / identical. The art prints though are totally different. They're not black and white, and they're both of the game. One is, I believe, of the title card, and the other one looks like it's probably the Motorhead DLC for the game. And then the lithograph is totally different. The lithograph looks way cooler than what I got. I got like a super boring scene with like the main character facing away, and it's just like a street, I guess, which is fine. It could be cool. But what's in the packaging is so much cooler. It's like the character menacingly, you know, looking towards your point of view, and then you have like the old town in the background, and it looks way cooler as a lithograph than this does. The CD is the same. So I'm kind of confused at what happened. Why is this so different from what I purchased? Okay, so the page did look different in, when is this? This is June 19th of 2021. So it did actually include details as to what was in the package, which is good. It included the game on PS4 or Nintendo Switch enclosed in a Black Label sleeve, yep. A high-end Black Label silver box, yep. The sleeve, authenticity card, yep. An Alu de Bond art print. So that must be what I'm calling the lithograph. Stunning art prints hand chosen by the team, so it's non-specific in the description. The CD, trading cards, and then the story, which we all got. And that's it. And it has the same image as the current site. So well, not everything. Most of what I got is completely different from what I attempted to purchase, which makes me feel even worse about this purchase because I like what I bought better than what I got. Go figure. What can I say? It was $80 that I spent 14 months ago. There's nothing I'm going to do about it other than make this video and probably not purchase another Wired Presents release. But yeah, that is it. I have been Alaskan Beard. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to like, feel free to subscribe. I will be doing more unboxings, hopefully ones that are better than this, because this was one of the few things that I've paid a decent sum of money for that I'm actually annoyed about. I normally am just like, oh, this kind of sucked, but no, I'm pretty annoyed about this one. But yeah, hopefully I have some, not hopefully, I will have some unboxings in the future for you guys to watch, and hopefully they won't suck as much as this one.